Okay, so
Yo, Jesus, please. Thank you.
so starting off, just what were your thoughts on the intersection of race and sports panel that you just saw?
I love the NBA. And for me to be here in Memphis, I didn't think they were going to let me off the plane. But I kind of snuck in once they opened the door and slid by the security, and now I'm here. I've been to the Civil Rights Museum a number of times, and this is a subject that is very dear and near to my heart. And so the opportunity to use basketball, and the NBA is the most diverse workforce in the entire world. And the objectives of the NBA, which is to provide hope and purpose and opportunity for young people to build their lives and chase their dreams and have it all come together here, and then have my heroes, Mark Spears, Grant Hill, and Candace Parker. And what's the current guy's playing name there? I forget what his name was.
Garrett Temple.
Garrett, yeah. What a cool dude. He's from Baton Rouge. And Dale Brown, who's one of my all-time heroes, mentors, and friends, and he coached one of our sons. But to see it all come together and to see the dream of the players for so many years, the players that I grew up idolizing, from Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Elgin Baylor, Oscar Robertson, Wayne Embry, who's also part of this whole weekend celebration. A celebration of what might have been, more importantly, a celebration of what can be. And so when we all come together and we discuss things that some people may not be comfortable talking about, but that's the great thing about sports, that's the great thing about basketball, is that everybody comes from a different place. And to be here with my longtime friend, teammate, and this incredible humanitarian Lionel Hollins and his wife Angie, this is a moment in my life that I'll never forget, because I work in a different world now, and I had the opportunity to come here. And when the NBA said, "Hey, Bill, would you like to come back for MLK Day in Memphis?" I said, "Wow, what an incredible opportunity." I was there at the groundbreaking ceremonies for the MLK Memorial on the mall in Washington, D.C. And I was there for the digging up of the first piece of dirt. And we were all supposed to be there for the grand opening of that event. But it got canceled because of a hurricane. And then when they rescheduled it, nobody scheduled fit, and so I couldn't make it back. But to be here and to relive the tragic history. America is a beautiful place, but we have an ugly side to us. And what sports allows us to do is to come together, put aside our differences, and let's play ball. And so with the Memphis Grizzlies just being a shining star of excellence in our world of the NBA, to have this here on a regular time, regular schedule, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And walking through the museum, we had an outstanding tour guide in Brian, walking through the museum, we had an outstanding tour guide in Ryan. And he was able to just bring the emotions out. And for those of us who lived through that, we will never forget. The challenge for us is to take the lessons that we've learned from the sadness and the tragedy and do whatever we can to make a better world for as many people as possible. And that's why I'm so proud, loyal, and grateful for the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. I'm the luckiest guy in the world.
Well, you answered just about everything I could have asked. But when it comes to today, and the disconnect that you see in society today, why is it so important to take a step back and remember MLK Day over this weekend, and like the NBA does?
More importantly than taking a step back and remembering is to taking a step back and learn, and let's go get something done. And that's the beautiful thing about basketball and what David Stern has created. I mean, David Stern, a little tiny guy, never shot a basket, but he's the most important man in the history of the game. And the number of times that he has been here and what he has done to make sure that this Grizzly franchise succeeds here in this beautiful city right along the river. And all the great lessons of life that we learn from Martin Luther King, the levels of humanity, the levels of sacrifice, the level of understanding. See, I wore my shirt today, and I wrote my speech on my shirt so that when I forget, because that's what happens when you get old, is that you lose track of everything. And so I just kind of look down and say, oh yeah, believe, history, justice, equality, and then my stomach is so big I can't see down below that, but there's a lot of stuff on here, and I'm the luckiest guy in the world. My dreams of being part of something bigger and more special than just my own individual life. And so with the heroes that I had, Bill Russell, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, Bobby Kennedy, Sargent Shriver, Jerry Garcia, Bob Dylan, Neil Young, John Fogerty, Jimmy Cliff, an endless list of guys. And then to see where it's come to today with LeBron James and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry and Steve Kerr and Greg Popovich working on a constant basis to make the world a better place. And as we sit here in front of this wall, the wall of the struggle to climb the mountain, the game of life that we're all in. What could be better? We've got a chance, but we've got to make the most of that chance. What happens when you're old and in the way like I am? The regrets that you have are all the things you tried to do, but only did halfway. Some folks would be so happy just to have one dream come true. This dream, where do we go from here? And that's where the NBA is taking us, to the promised land, to the top of the mountain. Here we go.